Hi everyone, so welcome to this brief introduction of artificial intelligence in education. This video is created for IDE 401 course. So let's start with what really AI is. So there are a number of definitions about AI. So it's a branch of computer science that deals with the simulation of intelligent behavior in computers and their capacity to mimic and ideally improve human behavior. And UNICEF expands this definition to a machine-based system that can, given a set of human-defined objectives, make predictions, recommendations, or decisions that influence real or virtual environments. AI systems interact with us and act on our environment either directly or indirectly. Often they appear to operate autonomously and can adapt their behavior by learning about the context. And Michaelan expands this beyond the machine. So AI, as we know it, is a kind of computing, but it's also a form of knowledge production, a paradigm for social organization and a political project. So it goes, the thing that makes AI different. There are a lot of things that make AI different from other technologies, but what McKillen mentions here is it goes beyond the machine into becoming the social and political object. So now let's narrow our topic to generative AI. And so generative AI is, according to UNESCO, it's an AI technology that automatically generates content in response to prompts written in natural language conversational interfaces. So these include generating texts written in natural language, images, photographs, digital paintings, cartoons. So these tools generate content by statistically analyzing distributions of words, pixels, or other elements in the data and identifying and repeating common patterns. And don't trust it because sometimes errors happen, and some of the errors by generative AI tools are very unnoticeable. So make sure you review the output before using it. So, how does AI work? Now, machine learning technologies are at the foundation of GenAI. And these algorithms continuously improve performance based on user interaction. And text generating AI tools use generative pre-trained transformer, what we call GPT. And image generating tools use generative adversarial networks, what we call GAN. Now, the techniques used in GenAI, and this is here just to give you some idea of about the technical terms. So you don't have to remember this, but these are the techniques used by GenAI. So machine learning. Machine learning is a type of AI that uses data to automatically improve its performance. So as the name suggests, the machine learns with each user interaction. Artificial neural networks, these are type of machine learning that's inspired by the structure and functioning of the human brain. What's the neural network? General purpose transformers, these are a type of artificial neural networks that are capable of focusing on different parts of data to determine how they relate to each other. And large language models are types of general purpose transformers that's trained on vast amounts of text data. And generative pre-trained transformers, GPT, is a type of large language model that's pre-trained on even larger amounts of data, able to generate coherent text-aware, context-aware text. And generative adversarial networks and variational autoencoders are types of neural networks for image and music generation. So the structure of the previously discussed techniques is like this. So there's at the top machine learning. Under machine learning, there are artificial neural networks, generative adversarial networks, variational autoencoders. And there are different types of algorithms that are used to generate text or image or music or any kind of content. So how does text GenAI model work? So text GenAI uses general purpose transformer, usually referred as large language models. So ChatGPT, for example, is built on GPT-3, which was developed by OpenAI in November 22. Afterwards, they have created other versions of GPT, GPT-4, GPT 4.5, GPT O's, a lot of versions after that. So there are these GPTs are improving each every year. So to understand this, let's break down how this model is working into 10 steps. So the first step is a user inputs prompt, which we're going to discuss in a minute. So prompting is basically asking a question, or it can be any form of text input to the GenAI. And following that, the prompt is broken into smaller units called tokens. And the GPT identifies common patterns using statistical analysis of words and phrases from its pre-trained model. Pre-trained means there has been already a large amount of data that the model is trained on. So that's what it compares the prompt to. And based on this statistical analysis, the GPT calculates likelihood of potential next word or phrase based on the identified pattern. And then it predicts just initial random prediction guided by these probabilities. And then predicted tokens are converted into coherent readable text. And then text is screened to remove offensive or inappropriate content, which is called guardrails. And these steps, from steps 3 to 7, are repeated until the response meets stopping criteria. That can be a token limit or completion condition. So post-processing, there will be formatting, punctuation, and readability enhancement. And then final GPT-generated response will be displayed to the user. So this is how text generative models work. Now, examples of some GenAI tools available online. So the launch of ChatGPT sets off shockwaves in 2022 around the world because it was free access through easy to use interface by anyone with internet access. Now, this led to tech companies playing catch up, either by launching their own similar tool or building new tools on top of it. So some of the alternatives are listed here. And you can access this on Blackboard. This file. So you can see different kinds of categories. There are AI chatbot, AI writing tools, generation web browser. There's a description to each one. You don't have to pay anything to use these. If it requires you to pay, just make sure you really want that tool to use it in your case. Okay. So how image GenAI model works? So image and music generating AI models use generative adversarial networks. So these GANs have two parts. One is the generator. So the generator first creates random image in response to the prompt. And this is again, it's out of the pre-trained data. And there is the discriminator part, which tries to distinguish between this generated image and real images. And the generator then uses the result of the discriminator to adjust its parameters to create another image until it makes more realistic image, or until there is some stopping point in the algorithm. So image generating models, you can also access this on Blackboard, which the document we just saw.